Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Boot Breakdown. I'm JB, the sports guy, joined by Jordan Taylor from Under the Lights and from the Nick Network. You see him down there, the one and only Nick Campbell. Jordan
What
Taylor,
up,
take us away,
guys?
buddy.
What
First
up,
off, can you,
guys?
What's
first
up,
off, can
Nick?
y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan Taylor, JB the Sports Guide, Nick Camel with the Nick Prep Report. It is great to be back. Missed you guys last week coming back from Texas and all and y'all guys handled it well. Got to watch the show. Great job. And I'm happy to be back this week to talk week 3 edition of high school football in the state of Louisiana. It's gonna be a great show. Let's get after it, boys.
Let's roll, man. Let's do it.
Nick, what's going on, my man?
What's going on, man? Very, very excited. It was an awesome week 3.
Absolutely. Week 3 was awesome to say the least. And things are starting to heat up, guys. So it's gonna be a lot of great football to break down in these next couple weeks as we lead into those big time district championship games, leading into those big time homecoming games, leading into the playoff run. Things will heat up. My name is Jordan Taylor. This is JB the Sports Guy. This is Nick with the prep report, and we say welcome aboard. Hit the like, hit the share if you're watching this on Facebook. Hit the subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube right now. Multiple options to watch us. Let's not waste any more time because we're limited time, but there's a jam-packed show to talk high school football tonight. You guys ready?
Let's do
I'm
it.
ready.
Let's do it. We're starting to see some identities starting to be created. Pretenders and contenders starting to separate themselves. What are your takeaways from week 3? We'll start with JB. Your takeaways as we leave week 3 and head into week 4.
Well, right now, Lafayette Christian, in my eyes, is a definite contender. And they'll be in my city pretty much this Friday night. But Lafayette Christian right now playing some of the best teams, as in Westgate, Karen Crow, defeating these teams and showing that they have a great offense as well to compete with some of the best teams in the state. So right now, Lafayette Christian is a definite contender. We know about Edna Carr being a definite contender every year, but right now, St. Augustine looks darn well. For Sean Coulon, yesterday threw for 7 touchdowns. And I mean, he outperformed the 5-star quarterback that plays for Legacy Sports and Sciences from Spring, Texas. Outperformed him. So St. Augustine is for real. That is a definite contender. So those two right there is the two I'll start off with: Lafayette Christian and St. Augustine.
Nick, same
Yeah,
question.
I want to go right down the street from JB, right up Canal Street. The Warren Easton man, I'm telling you, Coach Phillips got them going pretty good, and they haven't been having no cakewalk wins, but it's kind of exciting to see Coach Phillips getting it back on track. I spent some time with him over the summer, just talking a little football with him, and he was highly excited about his team that was coming forward. So now we're actually seeing it. And the other one would be the Terrebonne Tigers of Houma. Man, they are really, really, really putting it down. We expected a really close game with St. James on Friday night, but it didn't. It was close for what, a little bit of 3 quarters.
Okay. And then I'm going to walk away from week 3 talking about unlikely teams starting the season 0-3. You look at Edie White, you look at Acadiana, you just two that just jumps off the page right now. Unlikely teams starting 0-3 is where I will leave week 3.
Yeah.
Um, Parkview Baptist 0-3.
Yes.
That's
I
a
mean, the list goes on, but that's just two that jumped out to me. Go
yeah.
ahead, baby.
Parkview Baptist jumps out to me, man. I think a lot of us expected Parkview Baptist to be better, and looks like it might be a rebuilding year for Parkview Baptist. We'll see this upcoming Friday night when they host St. Martinville if they can get on the board with a win. Um, um, Newman 0-2 and Bird 0-3. That's two other ones that I thought wouldn't be winless. So that shocks me right there.
Yeah, Cheese brings up a good point saying Union Parish, another one of those teams sitting 0-3. Unlikely teams right now that could go and run the table, but right now not the ideal starts.
Agreed.
Just earlier as Thursday, Coach Front and I, we was talking about those 5-5 teams, and those are some of the most dangerous teams due to the fact of heavy scheduling and power points. Man, you let a good 5-5 team like Union Parish get in that knows how to win, they can really put it on somebody that we not even like. How did that happen? To get to the semifinals.
For sure. We also had 2 forfeits happen in the state of Louisiana
Saw that.
week 3. So 2 forfeits happened. Crescent City and Bolton have forfeited their week 3 games. So Springfield and Lake Arthur received the wins. Not sure what's going to happen with Crescent City and Bolton moving forward. Your thoughts?
I don't know. I know Crescent City has a game with Riverdale on Thursday, and if they don't have enough players to put on the field, they're not going to play that game. It'd be another forfeiture. It's something you don't want to see from teams, but the safety of the competitors is what has to come first. Mm-hmm. And like I said, they don't have enough players to put on the field. They're not going to do it. So hopefully something can happen where Bolton and Crescent City can get enough players to play a game, but I just don't know. I just don't know. When I saw that Crescent City was trying to field a team this year, I had my thoughts about will they be able to make it through a certain number of games, and here we are, 3 games in the season, and they're already forfeiting games. So we'll see what happens, man. But hopefully they can be able to field the team come Thursday night for Crescent City, and when Bolton plays the next game, if it's Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
Yeah, traditionally Crescent City have been a basketball school. They run up against a nice district that's really football schools, and they really get hurt throughout the whole season. But while we on YouTube and we got a lot of people watching, I'll go on record and say I will coach the Crescent City team. Just get at me. I'll take a 4-year contract, and we'll work out the details. I'd love to take that school and get these kids back at playing football in Jefferson Parish.
Okay. You guys got an opportunity to see some teams up close and personal here in week 3. Some games were broadcasted. Some games were filmed from the iPad. Some games were just covered as a journalist. Talk to me about those games that you got to see up close and personal. We'll continue the trend here. We'll go JB, Nick, and then I'll finish it off with the 2 that I saw.
All right. So I had streamed Patrick Taylor versus St. Martin's on Thursday, and that was a game that came down to the last second. Great ball game between 2 teams. Patrick Taylor, running backs is their main guys. That's Logan Rogers and Jeremy Gibson, with Logan Rogers being the main back, and Logan Rogers had over 4 touchdowns, over 200 yards rushing, but St. Martin's gets the stop with 1 second left after Logan Rogers scored a touchdown. Patrick Taylor decided to go for 2. That's the stop St. Martin's got. St. Martin's got a good quarterback in Donnie Lawrence, the transfer from Brother Martin, and Noah Dunn is the guy that takes the spot after Harlem Berry leaves. He's the running back. Friday night, I was at Archbishop Shaw in Rummel, and it's the same thing I said in week 1. Archbishop Shaw's offense is not clicking. They still need a lot of work. Defensively, they're playing well, but they're on the field the entire time. And when you're on the field the entire time, bad things happen. I mean, they was on the field on the first quarter with bad field positioning. Rummel scored like that. Other than that, Rummel didn't score another touchdown. Not at all. A couple field goals. That is what you want. But other than that, Rummel didn't score another touchdown. So Shaw's offense gotta get going eventually. Rummel, like I said, scored 2 touchdowns with great field position within the 20-yard line. Other than that, couldn't do anything, kick field goals. So Rummel gotta capitalize on every opportunity that's given to them. Can't just capitalize when you got great field position. You got to go down the field and score, which they couldn't do. And Coach Nick Monica said that. Last game I was at last night, St. Augustine and Legacy from Texas, and man, it was fireworks in the first quarter, but man, St. Aug was able to get things going defensively, get a couple of turnovers, and that's what got things going. Like I said, with Sean Coulon, 7 touchdowns, passing the ball, passing to all his weapons, Miguel Whitley, Raekwon Williams, Lucas Jefferson. You know, he got weapons galore to throw to. But Legacy of Spring, Texas, Keyshawn Henderson, 5-star quarterback. I think he's committed to Houston. That guy is legit. My goodness, that guy is legit. But St. Aug with the win.
Nick, who you got to see this week?
Got to see them Tigers, man, back there in Boutique, Hornville Tigers. And, man, I tell you, Coach Bourne, he was playing possum. You know, he had 2 games early on. He wanted to showcase his quarterback a little bit more. Fabian Celestine been having a really, really good year at the running back position, man. Edie White is not a slouch. Edie White is who they are, and they came to play. And if you look at it, the couple of penalties got called back from the Tigers. They could have opened the game up a little bit more as far as production went, but it was kind of surprising to see that Hornville really, really handled them up front, offensively and defensively.
All right, Thursday night I had Northwest and Barb. The score was 40-19, so that might jump out to you. Well, Barb dominated the football game. Well, an injury Northwest Raider football team had that game 20-19 at the start of the fourth quarter, and Northwest had it first and goal from the 1-yard line, ended up getting to the inch-yard line, and then 4th and goal got stopped. And then after that, the entire fourth quarter was the Buccaneers that just dominated the rest of the way. So what was 20-19 going into the fourth, it ended 40-19. You had that big stop on the goal line, and then they drove the field, scored, and then came back, pick 6, and then came back, had a turnover on downs, and scored again. So the game really flipped on his head. So got to talk to Coach at the end of the game, Coach Skeet Owens, and he did mention, he said, we got 8 new starters on defense. He said, we got only 2 returning starters in the offensive line. And you're playing 5A football, and you're playing in that district that they play in. You got to grow up fast, and you got to get these wins in non-district play to build you some confidence and build you some momentum going into the gauntlet that you're fixing to enter to. Northwest, starting running back that's all-state, did not play. Backup running back left on crutches. Starting quarterback left with an injury also. Both linebackers got hurt. Receiver got hurt. So it was not a night that the Northwest would like to remember. So hopefully those guys get healthy moving forward, because it doesn't get easier for the Raiders as Jennings comes into town next week. And then it does not get easy for Barb also, as they have a date at the Crow Dome. So that was Thursday night, Nick. Friday night, and I'm sure you were watching, Battle of the Westminsters. First half, I believe Westminster and Lafayette had negative total yardage. That front 7 and that defensive line for Westminster of Opelousas is absolutely nasty. We talked about the offensive line all offseason. Well, the defensive line deserves every bit of respect that they showed on full display Friday night. That is a team that you thought could be very good. Well, they went and showed it the first 3 weeks, and that's a team that could be knocking on the doorsteps of New Orleans when we get to week 15. So Westminster of Opelousas, if you don't know about them now, you better get on board, because the Crusaders are going to hurt a lot of feelings this year.
Well, my good friend, Coach Porter, I talked to him driving back to Laplace on Saturday, man, and he really raved about his guys, and this was like a 3-year plan in the making for Westminster Christian. And I mean, I'm telling you, what he, playing Cali Point compete coming up this week, is really going to set the stage. And I told him, I said, look, we're going to get you on next Sunday. You beat Cali Point Capete, because you're going to have to tell the world who you are, because not too many people know about Coach Porter. He applied for 4 different jobs this way and got denied. He had to take a job in Opelousas to really get his name out there to start this program. And I think he and his son is doing an exceptional job.
Yeah, absolutely. If they don't know, they know now. And moving forward, winner of that Westminster Catholic Point Capete game is going to be in the driver's seat for that district race. All right. So that's it for me. That's who I got to cover. You look at week 3, game of the night. Who it went to?
Game of the night, week 3. Well, from what I saw, I gotta go Patrick Taylor and St. Martin's. I have to. I have to. Just, Patrick Taylor scoring first, and St. Martin's answers back. Patrick Taylor ties the game up. St. Martin goes up 28-14, and then 35-21, and that's when Patrick Taylor makes their run. St. Martin's gets the ball back when it's tied. It's 4th and 13, and they just throw the ball to the end zone, and the guy catches it for a touchdown. And then Patrick Taylor drives down the field. Logan Rogers scores a touchdown. Like I said, with 1 second left, 42-41, and Patrick Taylor goes for the win. And St. Martin's gets the stop, and that's it. Game over. They kick an onside kick, but as soon as the ball was touched, the clock ran. Game over, and I go with that one.
You were saying that you would have sent the game into overtime. Not everyone was in an agreement with you. VK said go for it. If I'm in a situation, I'm saying go for it also, because their backs were against the wall after a 13-play drive. So what's one more to go win the game? But I just didn't agree with the play call. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I didn't agree with.
I felt as if they had the momentum going forward, and I just felt like if they go to overtime, St. Martin's couldn't stop their run. They couldn't stop their run. And I just felt as if they had the advantage. Now, VK looked at it differently. Then, well, just go for 2. Cool. I didn't have a problem with it. That's just my choice. But the play call on the center, that was like, no, stay in your spread and give him the ball. Like you and I talked about, Logan, you could run the same play. It's running the same play from the spread formation. They got on the center, and that's when the mishap happened with the ball, and St. Martin's got the stop. So I understand it. It's my opinion, I would have kicked the extra point and go to overtime. But I'm not saying it was a bad call. That's just me and VK.
Yeah. Nick, who, in your opinion, had game of the night in week 3?
Game of the night had to be those little blue guys from Laplace, the St. Charles Comets, and going with their tough defense against Mr. Elijah Haven, man. Sometimes we tend to forget who this kid really is, man, as far as being a top-rated recruit, man. But St. Charles don't have anybody with names on defense. They came in and they did their thing, and it took the last couple plays to nullify the game. So you got to give those guys a big shout out to go on the road and close out a tough game to win, and had 2 defensive touchdowns in the process.
Yeah. What a win for St. Charles. I was the only one that picked them on Wednesday night. I did not win the pick show, but I was happy to see St. Charles go and get a win there, because that just proves the Comets are something serious this year. After last year, young team, if I'm not mistaken, and had a lot of growing pains moving up in classification. Well, they're here to play now, and you better watch out for.
It was more injury. It was more injuries than youth.
There you go. Injuries, not youth. And see, that's why you got the guys in the area that can correct it on the spot. All right, mine would have been the battle in North Louisiana. It would have been Calvary Baptist over Franklin Parish. That was a
big one.
And I messed that up. I messed that up. I was the only one that picked Calvary Baptist, not St. Charles. So I was leaning towards my next question. But Calvary Baptist edging Franklin Parish was my game of the night. Thoughts?
Not surprised. Yeah, I picked Franklin Paris to get the win, but I said if Calvary would get this win, man, I said it would let people know that they're not missing a beat. Because everybody thought with Abram Wardell and James Simon graduating, they might fall off just a little bit. Right now, Calvary Baptist has not fallen off, and they look like a team on a mission that wants to reclaim their glory of being state champions.
Yeah.
So, no, not surprised at all with Calvary Baptist getting the win.
Let's stay in North Louisiana. Thursday night, you had Ouachita Parish and Sterlington. The score doesn't speak to the thriller that it actually was. This game came down to the final few seconds. Sterlington was on their way to go win this football game, and a pick six under 20 seconds was the difference. 33-22 was the final score, but Sterlington almost went stun Ouachita Parish. Pick six, the difference.
Go ahead, Nick.
My thing was like I saw the highlights, and why was Sterlington passing? You know what I'm saying? They have an exceptional running game, and it was moving the ball pretty good.
You got to pass it. I said you got to pass it. You're like 15 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, no, not saying it on that aspect. How they got to that point, you know what I'm saying? When you have a tremendous ground game, I didn't see it materializing like that. I thought Sterlington would get the lead throughout the game and wear them down like they normally do everybody else, but it didn't happen that way. So they got themselves in a situation where they had to pass, and that when the rabbit got the gun, that's what those types of things happen.
Let's talk about Ouachita, making that play to win that game. I mean, when we look at Ouachita, most people will say middle of the pack in their district. Not the same Ouachita from years ago. But here's Sterlington, a great team that can give any team fits. Ouachita finds a way to make a play defensively to seal the game. So you got to give Ouachita credit for that pick six and ending the game with the win.
Yeah, Cheese, I just corrected it. Congratulations on your win. I just corrected it. Calvary Baptist was the one I was trying to lead into. Lutcher gets into the win column after knocking off a game-improved Liberty Magnet football team 27-20 on Thursday night. Thoughts of Lutcher after 3 weeks getting into the win column?
Oh, big win for Lutcher, going to play a 5A team in Liberty. But Lutcher is still trying to improve offensively, and that's where everything is hurting it for Lutcher right now. It's not the high-powered offense that we're used to seeing. So they have to lean on their defense right now until their offense can finally click, get a rhythm, get some chemistry going to where they can get points on the board. But I want to credit Coach Zachary's team, Liberty, right now, because they have been in some tight ball games with some good teams. Lutcher is one. Southern Lab is the one they got the win over. So I have to credit them for competing with these teams and making these games close, because we haven't really seen that with a Liberty football team. So Coach Zachary, a lot of credit to him and his staff for what they have done so far in 3 games with their football team and having Liberty competing with these teams.
Yeah, we got to give Coach some credit to Coach Jenkins also, man. Before the season start, JB was high on Lutcher. I sent him a text during this show, and I told him, look, I understood the chemistry of having your son being a quarterback for a year and a half. Then you have to reintegrate a new talent, more than one. Lutcher has some premier players at that quarterback position, and they had to make a decision. And so in week 1, I said it'll be about 4 weeks before Lutcher could really come into their own. Their defense is going to hold them down for a little while. Their special teams going to start playing a tremendous part in some big games moving forward. So you're going to see Lutcher get to mark that 6-4 mark, something like that, 5-5, 6-4, and they're going to surprise a lot of people because they're going to really know how Coach Jenkins want them to play. They got a freshman took the reins as the quarterback.
Big win for the Bulldogs. Needed a win. As when you go into week 3, you needed a win to get your season rolling. As we've seen the Bulldogs year in and year out, always making big playoff pushes. So a big game was there at Liberty Magnet on Thursday night. I think Coach Zachary is going to have his guys just fine. That's a game that he could take away and learn from. And Lutcher, it's nice to get in the win column after a tough 2 weeks.
Oh, agreed.
Moving forward, let's go to your area. Young Audience in Livingston. Game lived up to the hype. 36-35. What happened? I mean, I don't know a thing. I just see a score. What Young Audience Livingston? What it must have been a thriller.
It must have been a thriller. I knew Young Audience won. I didn't know how they won, and I didn't know the score. So I'm actually trying to find it as we speak. You got 36-35, right?
Yes, sir.
I was going to say this as I look it up and try to get some more info on the game. Young Audience is making some noise. They're making some noise. I mean, when you beat West St. John, you come back to beat them. You beat a good Livingston team. So you're finding ways to win football games in tough battles.
Yeah,
you're fighting you're fighting adversity as well and overcoming it. So if you're able to do that, it speaks highly right now of your team and your coaching staff. So, there are teams that'll give up early. There are teams that'll just sit back and say, here we go again, not winning, but not Young Audience. They are finding ways to win. And I have to credit Young Audience and their coaching staff on how they're performing and fighting adversity and finding ways to win.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be incredible on the power rankings, man. I hear a lot of people talking more about Young Audience making a deep playoff run this year.
Yaks are going to be in for a long season, as they will probably make a playoff push.
Oh, yeah, I think so, man. And then the district that they're in with Haynes and Patrick Taylor, a lot of people got Haynes to win it, but Young Audience is making a case of telling people, y'all better look out for us.
Yes. Let me ask you guys this, and we'll stick in your area before we go to another part of the state of Louisiana.
Okay.
Belle Chase with a statement win over the state champs, 56-0. But that's not even the best part about it. They outscoring their opponents 187-0 the first 3 weeks of the season. What's going on? What's in the water in Belle Chase right now?
Well, when I saw it, I was just as shocked as you guys. I was like, Belle Chase is for real.
This is what you call a lot of veteran players returning, and the chemistry is already there. So,
CJB, you make me look like a fool live on air. They're not even eligible for the playoffs.
I'll double check because I was told they were. I'll double check. I know Cheese be having his stuff down packed, and I'm not doubting Cheese with what he said, but I'll double check because I was told they were eligible this year.
They were too.
Yeah, so I'll double check. But back to what we were saying with Belle Chase, a lot of veterans returning. The chemistry is already there. So yeah, they're taking off. And everything looks good. The only thing I'm saying is I want to see them against a tougher opponent. Mm-hmm. We thought East Jeff would be the one. East Jeff right now, we don't know what's going on since Brian Glover left. We don't know. So they played Bonneville. Bonneville's up and coming team. So I think they have the Willow this week, and the Willow's been surprising people. So I want to see how they fare against the Willow. South Plaquemines, I said they would win by double digits. I didn't think they would shut them out the way they did. That was shocking to me. But when you got the veteran coming back compared to veterans coming back but don't have the depth, that's an issue. We're talking about a 4A school compared to barely a 2A school. So that's the issue right there. So they have an advantage over South Plaquemines with that. But I want to see how they fare against the Willow. Because I was talking to VK earlier, and I said there's a strong chance Belle Chase can be 7-0 by the time they play St. Charles in week 8.
So if Belle Chase goes shut out another opponent next week, then what?
If they shut out the Willow, then I'm going to say look out for Belle Chase.
Nick?
I think we all will say that until they run up against the Comets, barring injury, because the Comets got it on their mind this year. And you looking at their schedule, they're looking for a formidable opponent like Belichick to show that if they're going to be dominant back again.
Yeah.
Alexandria takes the long road trip, stuns Destrehan 27-21. This is no rebuild for the Alexandria Trojans. They are still clicking on all cylinders. Thoughts on the game? Thoughts on the Trojans?
Trojans are for real. This is what I wanted to see. They started out 3-0, and I said I want to see what they do against Destrehan, and they played them very well. I have to give them a lot of credit. Destrehan, on the other hand, they left some points off the board. They had opportunities to win this game, take the lead, just didn't happen. So that's another learning experience for this squad at Destrehan, that they have to capitalize on any opportunities that are given to them. So, like I said, left points off the board that could have helped them win this game. But credit Alexandria coming down to Destrehan, playing them tough, playing them well, getting the win.
I caught a little bit of that game on 446 Sports towards the end, driving home, and I realized this, no matter how much that we look at a team, no matter how much we think we know a team, and we're talking about week 3, it's still a canvas,
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at Destrehan, you can honestly say, or even Ash, you can honestly say the pieces are in place. It's all about coaching to continue to develop that canvas, because they got everything in place. Both teams, you got the running game. Destrehan suspect in the secondary. Ash have some holes also, because they let Destrehan move the ball at will. So it goes to show you, week 3, if that game probably would have been played in week 8 or 9, it probably would have been a powerhouse of a game, 42-40 or something like that. But a team like Ash and a team like Destrehan, they both canvas guys right now, and I think they got a lot of room for improvement in order to push towards the state championship.
The Battle of Baton Rouge. Catholic of Baton Rouge gets the better of University Lab this year, 28-14. Did not let ULAB get them like they did last year. Thoughts on Catholic of Baton Rouge getting the Battle of Baton Rouge this week?
Oh, just showing the state that they're for real, and they're on a mission to get this state championship back to Baton Rouge. This is always a battle, 28-14, but I'm starting to wonder when it comes to University, are they struggling right now? And it's still early. Are they struggling against good defenses? We talk about a Rummel good defense and a Catholic of Baton Rouge good defense. So that's my question, because they put up 17 on Rummel and they put up 14 on Catholic. So that's my question, because good defenses, are they struggling right now? And we'll see what happens later down the line. But Catholic of Baton Rouge right now, to me, it looks like they're the second or third best team in the state. And I want to see what happens going forward when they face the Zachary and the Centrals of the world.
Yeah, you look at a team like UHI, they're really, really big up front. They look good. They really look good. But playing those type of teams week after week is probably going to get to the point where some of those kids is wearing on their bodies. And, we don't see it, but you getting hit. You playing a team like Rummel. Rummel is a big physical team, and so you get another opportunity to play Catholic of Baton Rouge. That's another big physical team, but I think it's going to prepare for the long run. Yeah, moving down the stretch when it all district all sipped out. We look for, as long as they remain healthy, I think the Cubs, they're going to be somewhere. I called them the Bears week 1. Remember that, right? Because I thought they had a Hercules type of performance, but they're really, really Cubs right now. And I think in the near future, as they start picking up these district wins, they're going to get healthier.
Let's talk about one of their teams in district then. Let's stick with that trend. Jess Curtis, Southside Sharks knock off Madison Prep 35-22. Your thoughts of the Sharks' future moving forward after back-to-back wins over Westgate and now Madison Prep?
Well, I picked the Sharks to win that district that day. And I picked the Sharks to win that Lafayette Lake Charles district. I really do. Jess Curtis. We know about Jess Curtis and his staff. They're great at what they do. In particular, in this game here, I just thought it was a mismatch in regards to Southside, because I just didn't think Madison Prep would be able to stop the type of offense that Southside runs, that option veer. I just didn't think they'd be able to stop it. Do they have the athletes? Yeah, they have the athletes. They got the talent, but just that type of offense is hard to prepare for in 1 week. And I just didn't think Madison Prep would respond well to it. As you see, 35-22 loss. But credit Southside, and Madison Prep got an electric offense. Southside held them to 22 points. So give Southside and their defense a lot of credit on being able to hold that offense and getting stops on them. But yeah, I think going forward for Southside, I have them winning that district, and it's going to be tough for them to win it. Not saying it's going to be easy, but I got them winning it. Madison Prep, on the other hand, with their district, they got a shot. We got a strong shot with Parkview Baptist and who's the other team? University. That's right, University. It'll be between those two, University and Madison Prep. But Madison Prep got a great shot.
Yeah, look, guys, I want to thank you for bringing Southside to the forum, because a lot of the people in my circle didn't know who Southside was. And they said, JB crazy. Jordan don't know what they're talking about Southside. We never even heard of Southside. I said, man, Coach Jeff, for real, I'm serious. And
I know you are.
If they're watching, they'll tell you, the people that ask me about it, Southside is been in the making. They got a really good coaching staff in place, and man, it's their time. And I mean, nothing surprises me now from Coach Curtis to have them playing the way they playing. And look, the sky's the limit moving forward. We just hoping guys don't come and poach a prominent coach when he start a good program like that.
Yeah.
Southside is non-select.
Oh, there you have it.
The Big Z.
The Big Z.
Looks like they are back and better than ever after a strong 3-0 start. They went into the Crow Dome and beat Crow by 14, 34-20. Is the Big Z ready to go try to get into title contention this year?
Oh, without a doubt. Yes. Yeah, that's a team you can never count out. I think a lot of us were shocked last season when they got bounced in the second round, I think, to Ruston, but I don't think that'll be the case this year, man. Got some receivers back, quarterback back. Yeah, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. You can bet your house on that. So yes, definitely look out for the Zachary Broncos. You could never count them out, Nick.
Yeah, Zachary is quietly putting together a good stream of victories. That's going to go really well in the PowerPoints going down towards the end of the season, so they can get away from Central Baton Rouge. They might get away from that Dark Horse and HL Bourgeois or Terrebonne coming that way, man. It's kind of crazy, man, because we haven't said enough about a team like Thibodaux that's in that realm, that's like Zachary, quietly picking up wins. Using those same two teams. You got Zachary picking up quality wins. You got Thibodaux in 5A picking up a lot of those quality wins that can get down to that Elite 8 area and shock a bunch of people with some really good coaching.
Let's stay in this district then. Question for the panel. Your defending champs, Central Baton Rouge, is 3-0, but every game has been decided by 10 points or less. Any concerns with Central right now?
I don't have any concerns right now. I don't. When you're the state champions, you're going to get everyone's best. Everyone is coming for you. somebody want to say we beat the defending state champions. So no, I'm not. I don't have any concerns right now. I think Central will be fine, and they showing you the attitude of a champion. They are in some tough ball games, some facing adversity, and some of them they're overcoming it like a champion should do. So I don't have any concerns about Central right now. Central is fine in my eyes.
Yeah, I have two concerns. My concern is the quarterback play for Central. They're integrating a new quarterback. And secondly, the defense. Now we're talking about week 3, but come week 9, week 10, a lot of folks, especially in the Baton Rouge area, the Central area, they're not talking about what was always occurring with Central. They don't have their bravado. They're not bringing their bravado with them. I guess it's something when playoffs come, they start to taking their half shirts off and circling around the field in the end zone and other people's territory. So, I mean, that's the only concern I have is the quarterback play right now and the defense because they're giving up some points. They gave up some points to De La Salle. And not saying De La Salle is a pretty bad team, but it was kind of questionable at that moment.
How about this? I do want to give credit where credit is due, so I want to hear your thoughts on it. Mm-hmm. Southwood, from the longest losing streak that was snapped a week ago to now sitting 2-0 after a 50-28 win over North Caddo. Southwood, for a long time, had the state's longest losing streak, snapped it a week ago, now sit 2-0.
Hey, you know what they say? All bad things come to an end eventually. And it finally came to an end. And now they're 2-0. Look, I'm happy for their head coach that took over. I'm happy for that school, happy for the football program. They deserve to be celebrated right now. They really do. And they can go do some celebration on their own as well. You know, we just don't know the feeling of what they went through with all those losses. I think it was 56 straight losses, Jordan, over 5.5 years.
If I was a guessing man, I would say 47.
Okay. You gotta applaud them. You gotta applaud them. This coaching staff trying to change the culture, and players have bought in to what they're trying to do. And here you are, Southwood, 2-0, 2-game winning streak. I'm happy for them. I really am.
Yeah, Southwood being a part of a culture change.
It was 2,141 days, 46 straight losses.
46. Okay, I was 10 off.
To change the culture is a lot of work, and it starts with the parents. It starts with the community, and to bring the kids to practice to make them realize what it takes to be a winner. So kudos to the Southwood and the coaching staff. Let's go get number 3.
Yeah.
Let's get number 4. Let's don't eat the cheese and compile up these solid victories, man, to show everybody Southwood has arrived.
Let's stay in North Louisiana. Calvary Baptist counted out at home, quiets the doubters with a 33-30 win over Franklin Parish. Starts of the victory for the Cavs.
Oh, it's like we said earlier, man. Big time victory for them. You know, people probably thought they would be down and out this year. Not down and out, but down due to Abram Wardell and James Simon graduating and not being on that team anymore. But to show that they are still a force to be reckoned with and getting revenge on Franklin Parish, who's going to be a good team, who's going to make some noise down the line, says a lot about Calvary Baptist right now and that they are still for real.
It's awesome, man, to pick up bunnies like that. In the basketball world, we call those type of wins bunnies. And you get a Franklin team like that and do it, you letting people know, you letting the state know, look, we're here. We are still Calvary Baptist, and you gotta give a good shout out to the coaching staff, man, because the preparation to pull one like that off, man, I could tell you, the sky's the limit for Calvary. They coming.
Staying in North Louisiana, North DeSoto calling the win over West Monroe biggest win in school history, 39-28. What a win for North DeSoto. This, we talked about it 2 weeks ago. Well, this might be the year.
My question is, so are they considering the win over West Monroe last year the second biggest win also? Because I'm just saying now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I guess they're saying it because they went into
They
West
went to
Monroe and
West.
did.
Correct. Yes, they went to West Monroe. Yeah, a lot of us are saying that this is Luke Delafield and his team year, and Dennis Dunn is their year to get back to that Superdome. Playing a tough schedule, playing a tough 5A team in West Monroe that we all know about for many, many years, and going to West Monroe. That's not easy to do, to go to West Monroe inside that stadium and get a win. It is not easy to do. Many teams have not done that. So I have to credit North DeSoto, Coach Dunn and his staff and those players for believing in themselves that they could beat West Monroe again and they can go there and do it. And I picked them to win it. I wasn't shocked, but it does says a lot about this North DeSoto team and how far they can go this season.
Man, kudos to Coach Dodds out there at West Monroe. That's a game for ages. I mean, we could look at it in multiple ways. With the area being the way it is, I was expecting a shootout. I was expecting something the most out, a 41-42 game or something like that. But for all intent and purpose, man, they North DeSoto, I think it's a legacy year for them. This is my opinion. I think it's a legacy year because right in 2023, we all thought they would be back and they didn't come back. So now it's the quarterback's turn to be a senior. I think he's a senior or junior.
Senior.
He's a senior. And I think most seniors want to walk out impressing their coach, their legacy coach. So North DeSoto, I think it won't be a surprise for me. It wasn't a surprise for me that they beat West Monroe, but I thought the game would have been a little bit closer than it was, score-wise.
Yes. Let's see. Lake Charles College Prep and Opelousas played a classic at McNeese on Friday night. 41-34, Lake Charles College Prep gets a victory. 3 straight dog fights for Lake Charles College Prep out the gates. Talk to me about that matchup.
Well,
and JB's a dog team.
Oh, man. But look, Opelousas had 2 weeks to prepare for Lake Charles College Prep. 2 weeks because they had a bye for week 2. And so when you watch the film, they probably took that drive to Lake Charles, straight down Highway 167 to I-10, and boom, you're right there. So they probably took that drive to go see him play Barb in person. But credit Lake Charles College Prep. They've been battle tested these past 2 weeks by playing the Barbs and playing Opelousas. Battle tested.
They got Westgate week 1.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Can't forget about Westgate. Thank you. Westgate week 1, and Westgate won 28-21. And
3 straight dog fights, JD.
Yeah. LCCP doesn't commit to 5 turnovers. They might beat Westgate. And we'll be saying how LCCP is undefeated. So you got to credit them for being battle tested. They faced adversity these past couple games, and they're finding ways to win. They know how to win as a team right now. And playing these tough teams that they've played is only going to make them better moving forward. Nick Campbell.
Man, they're going to be a tough out in the playoff. They will be a tough out. And look, I wasn't a fan of Lake Charles College Prep because once upon a time, they was in a district with St. Charles Catholic. I knew a lot about them. But now moving forward with these guys they got at the helm, and they have a pretty solid program right now. So if they can continue to keep this momentum going into week 6 and 7 towards the fall, really becoming the fall, man, Lake Charles College Prep gonna go deep into the playoffs this year.
This is Eric Franklin's, in my opinion, Coach Eric Franklin's best team that he's ever had, in my opinion.
Turlings, late touchdown, less than a minute on the road, knocks off the Notre Dame Pioneers to stay undefeated. Rookie coach versus legend of a coach, the first of many meetings that those two will clash. I love this rivalry between Turlings and Notre Dame, and another game lived up to the making.
Their games usually always live up to the making, Jordan, man. They always put on a great show for everybody. And I saw some clips of it, and that touchdown, I think, with 22 seconds left, if I'm correct.
Yeah, or somewhere around that range. 24-20 was the final after that late touchdown.
Yeah, Turlings finding a way to win. This says a lot about the program so far for Turlings, and your new head coach that's taken over. He got them rolling right now. So I think Turlings is undefeated right now, 3-0. He's got them rolling. But you know, I was the one that said I don't think Notre Dame would be up to their regular, par. Well, I think I've been proven wrong, because Notre Dame right now is showing everybody that they are for real.
Yeah, man, kudos to Coach Cook. Coach Cook done changed with so many decades of coaching, man. And I know a guy that's older than me, and he said, man, Coach Louis Cook still coaching? He coached me, and he was 60 years old. So I'm saying that to say this, man, for him to coach these babies and have them competing on a high level still, man, that's a testament to who he was. And you know what? Guys like that, they start young coaching. I think he might have been 21, 22 out of college coaching. So kudos to him and the Pioneers, man. And it wouldn't surprise me to see the Pioneers make a deep run.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. St. Thomas More rallies from 17 down to stun Acadiana 39-35 to pick up their first win of the season. First off, what should we expect from St. Thomas More moving forward? Second off, it's dark times right now at Acadiana, sitting 0-3.
Well, I think we said that this was a must-win for both of these schools. That both of these schools had to get this win. It was very, very important. Acadiana up by 17. You got to find a way to close that deal, and it didn't happen. And St. Thomas More came back. I think for St. Thomas More, they could see some light down the road, and that light's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger, because I think St. Thomas More is about to really, really take off. Okay. They played some good teams. We saw them against Catholic last week, and that was a tough game. It was back and forth, and now they came back against Acadiana. I think things about to look up for St. Thomas More. They are about to go on a long winning streak, in my opinion. I really think so. I think things about to look good, and we'll be talking about St. Thomas More probably once again playing football come Thanksgiving week. But I think for St. Thomas More, looking good. Acadiana right now, they just got to find a way to get a win. They have to find a way to get a win. I think once they can take success of getting a victory,
they'll get one this week.
Yeah, they got Barb. Once they get their win over Barb.
No, they got New Iberia.
Oh, New Iberia. Carencro got Barb. Once they beat New Iberia, I think things will turn around for Acadiana as well. I really think so, because I don't think they're a bad team. I don't. I just think they're not finding ways of knowing how to win right now with the new head coach. But once they get this win, I think things will turn around for Acadiana.
Yeah, last week, JB, you and I, we both talked about this game in depth. We talked about what will be roadkill after this game. So if both teams got out of this game healthy, I think both teams going to start looking up as far as something promising in their district. Acadiana had a pre-district that was brutal, and they had to find a way to win, and they didn't, and they competed in every game. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when they walked out of that locker room on Friday night, they came, watched film this Sunday morning, ate some donuts, got prepared. I think the coaching staff walked out of that meeting saying, look, we just got to be who we are. We got to be Rams football. And as far as St. Thomas More, man, they got so many people behind them, and they got so much money behind them. They're gonna find a way to win, without a doubt. And they're gonna lose sleep over winning and it's going to come, and it's going to come in bunches.
Terrebonne, are they a contender now after knocking off St. James the way they did, or do you need to see what happens in week 4?
I think they are a contender. Reason being, I think with their offensive line, which might be the best offensive line in the state, that's going to go far with them. And then Quincy Adams, the running back. And Quincy Adams, Nick, tell me if I'm wrong. Bear. They call him Bear. That's right. Tell me if I'm wrong, Nick, but doesn't he remind you of C.J. Smith from Hornville last year?
He reminds me of Natron Means. If y'all remember a young Natron Means, because here's the deal. Last year when they played Hornville, he showed up.
Mm-hmm.
He showed up. The offensive line showed up. It was the other identities that didn't show up. So I talked in depth about Terrebonne being a contender and a pretender yesterday at a function with somebody. And I say, look, the next 4 weeks is going to tell who Terrebonne really is. The next 4 weeks. St. James had injuries happen the day before going into that game. St. James would not win much from going into that game, but pretender, it would be no, but remaining healthy through this gauntlet of games is going to be the most important thing. And the saying that to say it's not getting off the subject, and the guy had 1-2 minutes to drink. He told me that Terrebonne and Thibodaux game going to decide the district. I almost fell out.
Well, I'm not going to go that far, but I'm going to say this. I think they're a contender. Well, you got Quincy, and then you still got Alvin Celestine, who they kind of took from the running back spot and put him at slot receiver. Give them another dangerous weapon to throw the ball to when they throw. But I will say this. Nick, I think they're contender, but Nick says it, that these couple of weeks coming up, we going to know a lot about Terrebonne. He's saying 4 weeks. I'm saying the next 2. The next 2, because Friday night is Hornville. They host. Mm-hmm. The following Friday, they go to Destrehan. And if Terrebonne is able to beat both of them, then it's really going to say a lot. Because I think, in my opinion, if they're able to beat those 2 teams, they're going to win that district. They're going to win the district outright. It won't be no co-district champions. So these next 2 games for Terrebonne are very, very important.
Jordy, you remember the scenario they got Hornville a district championship?
I'm a youngster.
Last year, it was a 3-way tie. Normally, with that district would have a 3-way tie, but I think Thibodaux going to make a move in that district to nullify a bunch of things. So y'all just pay attention to that district moving forward. That's going to be a significant district in the top playoff bracket. I'm telling you.
I don't know football. I just ask the questions.
Don't sleep on HL.
I just ask the questions and let y'all debate it. I don't know football. All right, let's wipe that smile away.
All right.
Archbishop Brummel has responded well after the week 1 loss. They keep the megaphone after a 29-0 win over Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Nick.
Pick up the pieces. Man, I tell you, I didn't want to text my buddy or call him because I know how that feels. But you know what?
I was ready to go home.
It was a rivalry game, and the megaphones. The kids ran and got the megaphone. Everybody forgot about the score. Your parents didn't pop pictures and send it to other parents about the score. But look, I guarantee you, Coach Turney, he understands what is going on. He actually have his ear to the locker room and finding out what's going on. Was a shock at the score? Most definitely. But you got to credit the Rummel Raiders. You got to give Rummel some credit. Will Rummel move in the Catholic League like they're moving now? I doubt it. But, they did what they had to do to win the megaphone.
Well, what can I say?
You can punt the question if you want.
Oh, punt the question. No, I ain't gonna punt the question. Ain't no running. I don't do that. But I'm like I said, man. Boy, when you're watching the first drive for Shaw, the offense didn't do nothing, and then they go to punt, and it's a bad snap, and the punter go to pick it up, but put the knee on the ground at the 7-yard line. Yeah, I was like, yeah, this might be a long night tonight. Yeah. Talk about that bad field position that you put the defense in. But Rummel took advantage early in the first quarter, 2 touchdowns, 13-0. Pretty much all she wrote. But Shaw defense played well when Rummel had to try to get down the field. They did. So, somebody asked me, was I impressed with Rummel? And I was like, not really. And this is me not trying to take any credit from him. No. Look, I've seen some Rummel teams, man, that just blow your socks off, especially
balling.
Yeah, with Logan Diggs and your boy he had Louisiana Tech now, but he went to Vanderbilt and came to LSU. They've had some teams, man, that just like, whoo, man. So, just not to discredit them. I just, with people saying, Rummel, they beat University, and you look and you're like, not what I expected. But hey, it's just week 3. It's just week 3. Let's see what happens. They could probably get better. But credit from Rummel. They did what they had to do to maintain the megaphone. Shaw's offense has gotta find something. But credit Rummel, credit Coach Nick Monica and his whole staff for what they've done. Always a good team. Always find ways to make deep playoff runs. And I credit them for the win. I do.
Look ahead to week 4. Top 3 matchups in your area next week. Who we got?
Ooh, top 3 matchups in the area for week 4. All right. So I think I got 2 of them. But they got some. So let me go with this one first. Well, I'll leave one for Nick. I'll leave that one for you, Nick. You know what I'm talking about. I'll leave that one for you. All right. Even though I'll be streaming that game Friday night, but I'll leave it to you. First one, here we go. The Catholic League gets underway for district play. And the Catholic League in 3 weeks has only lost 1 game. Just 1 game. And now it's all about to change. Rummel at John Curtis. Mm-hmm. That's the first one. Can the Rummel defense hold this offense of John Curtis? John Curtis didn't have a game this week. They're fresh.
Off a bye.
They're off a bye. And they're hosting this game. So I'm going to go Rummel, John Curtis. I'm going to stay in the Catholic League for the next one. And that is Warren Easton at St. Augustine. And I'm streaming that game Saturday night. What intrigued me the most about this matchup, yes, St. Aug has weapons. Yes, they got talent. Warren Easton got a great offensive line with 2 excellent running backs. So I want to see St. Augustine against this big offensive line. And St. Augustine cannot look forward to next week. They can't look past Warren Easton. Got to stay on target with them because, yes, Carr is week 5. So I want to see, can St. Augustine be able to stop the running game of Warren Easton? And if they can do that, then their chance for winning is pretty much phenomenal. It's pretty high. The other game for me, Jordan Taylor, I'm going to go to Shreveport. Airline at Evangel.
In your area, you
Oh, my area. My fault, man. See, man, I'm moving ahead, man. What's wrong with me? Long day. No, I'm going to go to this game here in my area. Here we go. Country Day taking on Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass, 3-0. And Frederick Douglass has talent, got a lot of players being looked at. But I want to see, can they be able to stop this offense from Country Day. That's what I want to see. When you got Herm Dyson, you got Deuce McAllister's son, Curtis McAllister, and you got Corey Brewer's son, Kellen Brewer. All these guys at wide receiver. Can they stop that offense? I am very intrigued with Country Day against Douglas.
Yeah, that's some big matchup. That's some big matchups coming up, man. Mine is going to be Ponchatoula on the road at St. James to see how St. James going to respond after all of that opportunity they had this week. They had a couple people that reached out to me and told me how they felt about me Friday night for posting the scores, but I know it was all love. I want to see that game. I want to see a good Riverside team versus St. Thomas Aquinas. That's going to be another good game in this area that people can take note of, where Riverside going on the road. And this last one will be the Hornville at Terrebonne. I did not want to go, but I think I might be on the road because I have a bunch of people in Houma that I need to see. And I think I'm going to take that ride to see him Thursday night. Look, we got another guest star, man.
Espen, baby. Espen.
So Hornville and Terrebonne, that's the game that everybody's going to look forward to seeing the both big offensive lines. Both big offensive and defensive lines. That's the games my way.
Here's my 3 from my area. I mean, they got a couple that you could choose from, but I'm going to go with these 3, okay? I'm going Westminster of Opelousas at Catholic of Point Capee.
Great one.
Good one.
I'm going Neville at St. Thomas More.
Yes.
And I'm going Catholic of New Iberia at Notre Dame.
Yes.
That's my 3 from my area that I'm going to go with this week, Nick.
Yeah, man, that used to be some classic game. Catholic, New Iberia, and Notre Dame. I could only imagine what the fireworks going to be looking like on Friday night. You gonna stream the Westminster game?
No, Catholic of Point Capee will be streaming it on their platform. So if you want to watch it, this will be on Hornet Football Facebook.
Yeah, I gotta find them out and see what's going on. I want to see that game as an entirety. Hopefully one weekend I'll go out there by Coach Porter. He could give me some gear and I could be on the sideline like I'm a bodyguard or something.
There you go. All right, last one. Most intriguing matchup in week 4. I'm going with John Curtis and Archbishop Brummel. And the entire state of Louisiana, my most intriguing.
Okay. You want to go, Nick?
I'll let you go, then I'll come back.
No, man. Okay, all right. Most intriguing matchup. Yeah, I would have went that one for sure. But I want to go this one. Holy Cross and Carr. Holy Cross, Carr, both undefeated. Holy Cross had a 20-0 lead over Edna Carr last year. I want to know if they can make it happen again, but hold the lead and win. That's what I'm going to go with.
I'm gonna go with the rabbit in the hat. I'm thinking about Coach Phillips and the conversation we had. I'm gonna go with that game with him against St. Aug. That game gonna tell us if Warren Easton is back or not. So that's the game I'm gonna go with.
Okay, cool.
Some scores of interest from a week ago, real quick. Stop. Kenner Discovery knocked off LW Higgins 27-20. Brother Martin knocked off New Hope 36-28. Evangel over Bird 43-36. Elton and Montgomery in a shootout 64-62. Ruston walk-off field goal over Longview, Texas 38-35. John Ehret squeaked by Landry 14-13. Captain Shreve over Natchitoches Central 42-36. Birchman's gets a win over Highland Baptist 25-19. Congratulations, Birchman's. Catholic of Point Capee and Archbishop Hannon in a thriller, 36-35. Ascension Episcopal comes back and knocks off Abbeville 39-34. North Webster knocks off Minden 21-20 to reclaim the boot back in their trophy case. LaSalle over Maryville 30-22. North Iberville over Benjamin Franklin 20-14. St. Michael over Estruma 16-14. St. John knocks off Haynes Academy 36-34. Huntington beat Benton 32-29. Menard beat St. Mary 7-6. Vermilion Catholic beat Lowerville 29-26. And South Lafourche beat Central Lafourche 42-41. Some scores of interest as we close this one out here tonight. Final words from the crew. We start with JB, the sports guy. You got the final words, then Nick, and we'll close.
Final words. So my final words is in regards to something I saw last week and what I saw this week. Not going to say the games I was at, but last week I was at a game and I saw an officiating crew just ref the game, didn't tell coaches anything about coming onto the field or leaving the box and all that good stuff. A week later, I see that same crew, and right when kickoff starts, they're telling coaches of a certain team to back up, but the coaches are in their box. And then they threw a flag on the coach for sideline warning. And the coach is like, we're in the box. Where you want us to go? And the ref is like, I'm telling y'all to back up. They're like, back up to where? We're in our box. Next play, that same crew threw a flag. We got a personal foul for sideline warning or 5 yards, whatever. When it comes to that, I want to say this. You got to keep things.
Sounds like you got a lot to discuss on Tuesday night.
But you got to keep things consistent all around for every official.
Yes.
You can't have a set of officials saying this and that and then not doing it and then doing it. No, we got to keep it on the same page. On the same page. You can't just not do it for one game and then do it for the next game. No, got to follow it right. If you're going to do it every time. Stay consistent. That's my last words. Besides, tune in Tuesday and Wednesday, 7 o'clock for the Hash It Out show. Tune in on Wednesday at 8:30 for Jordan Taylor's Under the Lights. And tune in Thursday morning, 11 o'clock for my man Nick Campbell's Nick Network Prep Report. And Jordan got his little girl now. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
My shout out to Coach Karin at Kenner Discovery, 3-0, first time head coach. Got these guys on the road, man. I expect a lot of good things. He was a Hornville coach. He was up for the job at Hornville. Waited his turn. Now he's at Kenner Discovery. So good shout out to Kenner Discovery for rolling. I called Coach Sprunk the other night, and me and him talked a little bit. And the fortune's going to turn for him also. It's kind of hard to coach a team that you're not really familiar with. And as you get familiar with, they're still competing. So shout out to both of those guys for inheriting a new situation and making the best out of it.
Final words, week 3, we put a bow on it, and we head to week 4. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, you could catch JB, VK Jones, and George Peppers live on the Hash It Out show. Thursday for brunch, you can catch Nick with the prep report. And forgive me, I don't want to mess
Coach Ulysses Fronta. Look, he's watching it.
There you go.
He and his wife watching. They might call you and correct you.
I don't want to mess the name up, but you could catch the Nick Prep Report live Thursdays for brunch, and then Wednesday nights you can catch myself and the guys 8:30 to 11. So if you like to stay up late and watch a little football, or just watch it the next day, we will have you live on Facebook. For now, we say goodbye. Go watch some Sunday Night Football, ladies and gentlemen.
See you until next time.
Congrats to all. Congrats to all the winners in week 3. The road to the Dome is heating up. We'll see you next Sunday at 6:15. For myself, Jordan Taylor, JB the Sports Guys, Nick with the Nick Prep Report, we say goodbye for now, and God bless high school.
All righty.